The Western world is in ruin and ready to collapse. The so-called resistance leaders, they rage bait the slaves, pushing their own demise. Stay angry indeed. Black pills of despair rain from the sky. No one can stop the fall. No one can stop Black Chad, demon of despair.
Stop putting your emotion into it.
Wait,
we need to look for alternatives.
what's this?
Look for solutions. We can't just, give in to despair and this programmed demoralization of the West. Come on, guys.
What? You're not full of rage or despair? Fine. I will imprison you in an astral dungeon and keep you away from the others. No one will hear about your alternatives or your solutions or your silly indie brands. No one cares. The despair programming must continue.
What?
Welcome to Forever, nerd.
You haven't won, Black Chad.
Oh, yeah?
I'll talk to and review every indie creator I can, and we'll fight against your despair.
Even the bad ones?
Yes, even the bad ones.
Oh.
You don't get it. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me!
Oh.
Now on with the show.
Yes. Hail, nerds.
Hey.
What is up?
Howdy.
Yeah. You like that beginning?
I
I'm
love
not sure
it.
you've been on the show since I started running that one. So
No, but I've watched it. It's really cool. I love it. It's fun.
let me look in the chat. And yeah, Corey Barton, except 2 days ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
Just bring
anyways,
the girls on. He'll pop in.
yeah, start showing
Babes, spot babes.
Babes.
all right, so today we are going to read through and review The Lucent Waking Dream by the good old Mr. Michael Bancroft. I guess before we get to that, anything you guys want to kind of talk about? What were some of your thoughts before getting the book? Like, what did you think of when you were hearing some of the ads and the hype?
The hype?
How do you chat? You know, when he was drawing it and before it came out and you actually read it.
Here's the kicker for me. Like, I missed all the hype. I missed all the advertisement for it. I missed, like, it wasn't so much the creator as, oh, okay, like I saw the book and I was like, that looks cool.
Gotcha.
And one thing that I've noticed that's kind of a rarity especially in indie is this book is more, voilà aujourd'hui popito. Like this book is more bande désanée. It's very story, like European style storytelling.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Rather than a series of action shots that are stitched together, which is what most Western comics are. And I really appreciate that. And that's kind of what drew me in. It was like, hey, look, I'm not getting like jacked out of his tree muscle dude in like, derivative costume beating the crap out of someone. I'm getting an actual story. And, it's a female protagonist. It's very, very cosmopolitan. Like it's got the, we got the mental illness haircut in there, the black chick in the hipster bar. But like, it's not it feels like a living world. It feels like like I read a movie. It doesn't feel like I read a comic, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it was cinematic for me too. Yes.
Yeah. I really liked the emotions that it kind of conveys and all that stuff in just simple scenes. So just with the colors. But anyways, let me go ahead and present arms. Let's see. Window. Boom. So I mean, you guys. Well, Chris, I have a hard time with StreamYard sometimes, so let's make sure this works. There we go.
I'll see it. I'll see it.
Right. So originally, we were kind of sweating a little bit because it's like I have a physical version, and anyways, so I went and I checked my emails. Like, did I get a digital as well? And I did not. but I did see that I had like a shirt that I was waiting on. I was like, hey, what's going on? So he did contact me, and he sent me this digital version that I could read through and review on the show. So thank you, Mr. Bancroft. I appreciate that. All right, so let's kind of go through this one. You know, one of the things I already mentioned that I really liked about it was just the colors, dude. Like I like the color choices. Let's see, let's look at this cover for a second. So yeah, it's pretty cool, you know, and you see her doing this in the book later on, where it's like doing some kind of crazy maneuver. But I don't want to spoil it too soon. So go ahead and skip through it a little bit.
Yeah. Is this a new Pantone color, Bancroft blue? Like,
I don't know. I happen to be wearing a shirt of similar color, so
Actually do.
That was not planned.
No, I gotta say, I love this cover. When I saw it, it was absolutely striking to me because you're actually looking at the ground in a puddle, you know, and it's the reflection of her in the puddle. And I once I figured that out, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so great.
Well, the spot UV really pulls that out too. It makes the puddle look like it actually is a liquid.
Yeah,
I thought that was very clever.
Really clever, for sure. So I love the cuneiform stuff. My kids will roll their eyes, but I love ancient history, and that was one of the things that attracted me to the story. Was the mention of like ancient Sumerian and shit like that. I'm like, you had me at ancient Sumeria. So. One in me is dark, illumine. Yeah, John, and that's Paradise Lost, right?
Yep. I believe so.
Yeah, Milton did Paradise Lost, I believe. They mentioned Paradise Lost in the story, but anyways, you know, Bancroft got a big brain, so he's out here. He's like the Levant. First of all, he's mentioned in Milton. A lot of people don't know what the Levant is, but basically, it's a portion of the Middle East. So
it's where my people came from.
Well, half of your people, right?
Yeah. Half of your people.
All right. So we open up and we get this really emotional scene. At least I found it pretty emotional of father and son. You know, the son's not doing too good. They're in the desert, harsh environment. You know, I mean, look at the craggy face over here. Man has seen some weather, you know. Yeah, and of course the son, he looks like he's got a disease or something. Yeah,
he looks leprous, almost.
Yeah, or smallpox or something that's gonna kill him.
Right. Yeah, and basically we find out that you know, like their bloodline is cursed, kind of deal, from an even more ancient time or something like that. So, or great grandfather. There you go. And yeah, it's not really clear, at least to me, what's going on here. Which is cool. Well, you know, a lot of this is built around mystery.
My interpretation of this was that he was taking his son away from a village because he's infected, and he's bringing him to go die somewhere.
Mine was like, I thought that they were going to go somewhere to be healed. Like, oh, I'm taking him. It does. You're right. It does feel like he's like going out into the desert to, you know, basically say goodbye to his son. You know, that's so heartbreaking. Oh my God, guys.
Yeah, it mentions that, like, you know, others were afflicted, you know, like it spread or something. And it's like, wait, what? Where is it? God, I so much text. I'm like trying to, but our people did not yet know, as we do now, to banish the cursed, and in turn, the evil was spread among them. Only scattered were spared its wrath, i.e., like a plague, like.
Yeah. So, yeah, everybody had to separate. Yeah, get out of here.
Right.
Yep. Let's see. And then so what did you think about some of the and Dirk, maybe you have some info on this.
Sure.
Like with the panels and the layout and everything. You know, it's really I guess broad. You know, he's got a lot of big shots and everything, but he also has these really good close-ups too. What did you think of some of the panel work?
Well, I felt like it was easy to read. So to me, it flowed very well. I think he did a very good job with that. You know, and he does very well at his landscapes, I feel like. Cityscapes and then the landscapes. I feel like he does very well with that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Anyway, we'll see some of his cityscapes later. But and I don't know. I like you can just hear the crunch of the foot on the sand, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, the colors I think bring this out too. So I think he's very aware of how the colors play into that story.
Yeah, definitely.
And so you have that sandy brown color.
Well, I think it's a kind of almost like a double entendre of visual or color language. Yes. Because sepia is almost always universally used for flashbacks. Ancient, and this is a primer, a flashback to our present day.
Very much.
Yeah,
so.
Good point. Yeah, I like that. So then we come upon this, which I thought was supposed to be like a healer or something. I don't know. And he comes in and he's like a scholar of some kind, or maybe a mystic, maybe not a scholar. I don't know.
Dude, that is a necromancer or something. Like you've got a human skeleton, you've got a human nervous system, and you have a flayed corpse.
Yeah,
this is a man of science, I guess. Like
science, yeah.
Where are the bones? Did I miss that?
In the bottom right there.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And the nervous system. There's a nervous system.
Nervous system, or maybe like veins and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it is. Well, I see a brain, so I was just, but like, it reminds me of ancient Jewish hermeticism.
You're gonna get it kicked off of YouTube.
Well, even Egyptians used to do this kind of stuff too. You know, with I mean, they knew how to embalm and they knew all that. Like they would transplant the organs and put them in urns and things like that. So
yeah, and it's so I see a bunch of tablets. So this is obviously still BC and all that stuff.
3800 BC.
Yeah, it's all cuneiform, which means it's Sumerian or Babylonian or something that's
that old ass shit.
Yeah, maybe it's like or something, but like the wheels kind of confuse me. Like,
yeah.
Why is that?
Well, because it's like everything, like like when books were written back in the day, they weren't like we're talking BC and all this stuff, and even like if you've ever looked up Hermetic writing, it's all written in a rota, which is Latin for wheel. Everything is circular, like those arcane circles and stuff. There's a reason why they're like that. It's because that's how the written word was originally perceived in the West,
gotcha.
and even in the Near East and the Middle East. But the fact that he's got wheels there, like, maybe he's not like just a mystic, but maybe it's like a man of science. You know what I mean? Like a precursor to an engineer. Because look, he's got like a ziggurat like thing in front of him.
Yep.
What's up, Everly? Yeah, I'm digging that whole ziggurat stuff. It's pretty neat. Let's see. I just ordered this a couple of days ago, and I'm looking forward to it. Probably won't stay too long because I don't want the spoilers. Fair enough. That's fair. At least hit the like. Kahuna absolutely loved it. Yeah. We'll get to that. All the good parts. Let's see. 1 second. You got to juggle through windows. All right, let's get through it a little bit more. Yikes, huh? You got a body over here.
A bloodletting happening.
Yeah. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? I don't know. So
it looks pretty evil, nefarious to me.
Potentially,
or just a man of curiosity,
I guess, yeah. But I mean, the body's there and the blood is just coming down the sides of it. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
seems like a waste.
He's doing something with it.
Yeah, probably. So my question is who the hell built all this stuff? Like all this stonework and all that? That is not an overnight kind of deal. No, you got these giant, these giant doors with the cool old Sumerian art on it. Yeah, that's neat.
So this is that cave that we just looked at where the bodies are. This is just what's up above it, right? So
it's well, he walks down the stairs.
Yeah.
That ziggurat was in front of him in the first panel. Yeah.
So it's probably like over here, I'm guessing.
No, to the left. If you look up, you can see where the building starts to. It's the temple almost goes straight up into the cave.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then here we see him walk down.
Yeah.
To the door. Anyways, all right. So then he cracks open, and it's the Lucent. So nice opening scene. We get it's very emotional with the dad and the kid and all that stuff. So and then here he is.
Man, look how big
I do not fear the long night. Back then it was a lot of reincarnation belief. So yeah, I imagine he would not be afraid. Oh, here we go. Yeah, story and art by Bancroft, edited by Joe Thunderbuns. Isn't that's Thunderbuns, isn't it?
Yep. Yes, it is.
And then lettered by Eric Weathers. Sweet. Yeah, I had wanted Eric when I first kind of was hearing about CG and all that stuff, and I saw that he was, I saw him as a letterer. I was like, oh, let me see if I can pick him up. But then he just like took off. I was like, well, never mind.
Yeah, I've been
maybe not.
I like for my manga edition, I'm actually lettering it myself, and also the alternate edition because I can't afford multiple letters. But I'll tell you, Eric's videos on lettering, typography, like the whole thing.
Great.
Yeah, he even gives links to I think it was like Blambot or whatever to give get your hands on some of the free fonts.
Yeah. So we used Eric for Ballad of the Celestials.
Nice.
Yeah, and he was great. He was great to work with. Did an excellent job for us.
Yeah. See, and that was like a little bit before he kind of like took off. So got picked up by July, and I don't know, he's just everywhere.
It was before July, but it was actually after he had done Cyberfrog. So he was already working with
oh really? See, I didn't know that he did Cyberfrog.
Yeah, he was him. Yeah. Yeah, he was actually one of the first that I followed, oddly enough.
Yeah. So all right. So we go from one flashback to another one. This one's a little bit more current. Now, normally I don't really care for flashbacks. Like they say, flashbacks and dream sequences, don't do them, right? But
I do them both.
Yeah, it's back to back. No. So, but I don't know. I don't it makes sense here. I don't dislike it here. So, like it's not wasted. If that makes sense.
Well, yeah. I almost feel like the opening was more of a prologue than a flashback. Like it's
Yep.
And this is your actual like flashback.
Now we're into it.
Yes.
Yeah. So we got this dude doing fucking crazy jumps off of stuff.
Matrix.
Yep. Not really sure who he's talking to. Don't get followed.
His earpiece.
Right. He's got a little watch. Look at that detail. Love it. That's really good. Because like he wasn't an artist before he did this, right? Like he wasn't an artist or whatever. Like
I believe he had a webcomic. I believe he had a webcomic before he kind of dove into the deep end of print.
I remember him talking about he did like a skating magazine or something way back in the day. So
cool.
Yeah, he's a bit of a was it a rollerblader?
Oh yeah, that's right. The inline skater.
and poker player.
It's a bit of a rollerblader. Yeah. Anyways, all right, let's see.
So we learn about the person that he's fleeing here.
Yeah.
He called the Marshal or Le Maréchal, the French.
Maréchal, yeah.
Where does it say that?
Right there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So he's like the Maréchal, like the Marshal.
Yep.
Yeah. So that means that this guy's like an enforcer or kind of a shady bastard when we get to know him later on in the.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The door squeals like a stuck pig.
I love it.
The last text makes no sense. Upstairs, plug up the sink and turn on the taps.
Oh, he's reading his mobile.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell does that mean? So now we got like this weird scene going on, which it feels kind of like a Matrix beginning, where like you
that's what I
start
thought.
with Trinity, and it's like, what is like she's in the middle of something. You're like, what is going on? She like takes on all those dudes and shit. Not in that way. Not in that way.
Although you can see Bancroft's Australian influence in there.
Yeah.
How's that?
In English-speaking countries, only Britain and Australia and New Zealand call water faucets taps. We just call them sinks.
Yeah. Plug up the sink and turn on the taps. That's funny.
Yeah.
I've heard people here say it a little bit, but it's not a common thing. That's
it's really not. That's funny. All right, and then we have this reveal here. And like, who the heck? What is going on? Right?
It just comes out of the sink.
Yeah. So, and it's and suddenly.
And I love how moody this is. The blue really brings the mood out in it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a really good theme choice for the book that he went in. Yeah,
very much.
Yeah, is the blue language for the dreamscape or for like the magic use? Because like you'll see later on after the Immolation Man, like it goes back into that blue, and water seems to be a very heavy theme here as well. Like it's always about water.
Yeah.
All right, so we're kind of finding out who these guys are. So this guy, this really looks like who's that? Colin Farrell. is that long-haired blonde Colin Farrell?
That's funny.
I just thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, and then so this guy's must be Alexander. Yeah. We're meeting all these people. We're not really sure what the hell is going on yet, even who this guy is. So any thoughts so far?
Ginger root hand.
Yep, ginger root hand.
There it is.
Well, this is actually the improved hand, right?
Yep.
No.
Because the other one used to look like the ginger root. So
I know I got the magnet for it.
Yeah, me too.
Looking forward to checking back on this stream after I get to read it myself. Yeah.
Nice.
Good night, dude.
Have
Take it easy. And thanks for coming by and saying hi. That was really nice.
Yeah, man.
So all right. So now he's like, no, get away. So what is their relationship? What are we getting out of this so far?
There's a secret society that they both belong to, and they're being hunted by another society, or possibly just Le Marechal, who's like the Uber Mensch or whatever, who is clearly he's clearly vastly superior to these guys.
He's got him scared.
Yeah, I mean, scared enough to be like, if this guy's got like if he's got you in his scent, you're dead.
Yeah.
Where he basically has this little girl, as his next target. It's the Terminator, essentially. Like,
well, and it's funny because, I mean, it's not completely, but it kind of reminds me of was it Les Mis, where you had the guy trying to track down Valjean and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I know it's not the same, but it's I don't know, it's a little bit of that. Maybe it's because I just saw that movie not long ago. All right, moving forward. Let's see.
No
so yeah, we get some more mystery out of this dude. The order does not leave loose ends. So yeah.
So there's your so Le Marechal is an enforcer or a terminator for the order.
Right.
The order. Thwack.
Mm-hmm. So he's like his last hope to save her. He thinks he's going to hit this guy, right?
And yeah, no chance. No chance. Yeah. And then Colin Farrell's like, "Whoa, dude, I was wrong." Oh shit!
Agent has caught their scent.
Yep. Yeah. Intro the found us. Intro the fucking.
Look at the raindrops on that in that panel. Look at the raindrops. Hitting the floor.
All I can think of is that scene in The Matrix 2. When Neo and Smith were fighting.
Yeah, when
I love that effect.
But I do think this is, I mean, this has definitely echoes of that, but I feel like it's also its own thing. So it doesn't totally draw me out of it, but it just reminds me of the Matrix.
Right.
It reminds me of better times.
It gently reminds us.
But man, I love the coloring on this, and those raindrops are it's just beautiful to me. It's good art, man.
Yeah, it's well done. All right, the child now. Nothing is more important. So everybody's freaking out. They're like, oh shit, we gotta go. They have to separate. I'm not sure. He's just in action. He's like, let's go.
And that girl's got a shiner. Look at her face.
Yeah, dude. Shit.
Looks like we only had to tell her once.
Yeah. She's obedient now.
Yeah.
Anyways, Papa. So he hears all this water stuff again. Not really sure what that's about.
I think the water is like if you think in magic terms, these are like almost like hydromancers, and the water medium is it allows them to teleport or scry or whatever they're doing.
Yeah, it's not really clear because it seems like it's the real world. I guess we don't really know. Maybe this is a dream, you know. In which case, things like that would make sense, you know, where you can travel through, you know, well, I use the drain as a portal to get around. Although in a dream, I'm not sure you would need to do that. Yeah.
I like this panel right here.
It's here the Mario Brothers stuff. Which one?
I like the one where the Marichel's
back
beside him, or behind him, I mean.
Yeah.
It's great.
Space is always enshrouded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
What did they sell you? Hope, revenge, just to snatch her away again and leave you here for me? How cruel and foolish. Oh, he didn't like that. He's like, the bitch. None of that matters anymore. Yeah. So not really sure what's going on. Why, you know, dude's got a boner for him. But that's all right. We like a little mystery. See, and you people caught. Plus, it's like just the mooding, just all the moodiness of this, the emotion and everything, really comes out of the page. You know, for any problems you know somebody might have with the artwork or whatever stuff that you know, it's kind of out of my wheelhouse. I will say that just the emotion, the storytelling is it's up there. It's already at, you know, it's already telling you what to do. It's like, shit.
Yes. Just to reiterate, like to echo off of your sentiment about the artwork, or like, you know, the storytelling of the artwork. Like, for example, one of my favorite comics is The Crow, James O'Barr.
Oh,
yeah.
And the version that I have, the art is atrocious. Like, it looks like it looks like something I did. Yeah, it looks like something I could do in high school with like a ballpoint pen. It looks really bad, but the story is amazing.
Yep.
And that, to me, like, you know how there's always that debate, you know, what's better, art or story in a comic? Hands down story. And I'm not just saying that because I #writer, but I'm saying that as if you have an awesome, like, if your art is gorgeous, but your story sucks, congratulations, you have a picture book, and people will lose interest real quick. But if you have a shit art, but an awesome story, there's always remasters. There's always remakes, you know?
Well, it's like you were saying, I don't want a bunch of action scenes strung together, like randomly strung together, and then like, you know, superhero yelling at a villain or whatever. Like, I want some story. I want characters
on the next Dragon Ball.
Real. You know, yeah. Not say, I mean, all that stuff has a place, you know, like you were just pointing out. That's true. But I don't know. I appreciate it here. With the emotion is really good.
Well, it feels like
this. Stay on this panel just for a second, if you could.
Sure.
How he makes Le Marechal move. You can see his previous movement to where he's at in the air.
Yeah.
And I think that's really hard, but I love how he does it here because it's a little different than what most people do, you know?
Right.
When you see Spider-Man do it, because they did a lot with Spider-Man when he would tumble through the panels.
Or like Daredevil. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he makes him almost ghost-like, you know, in this one. But
yeah, I thought about that when I first saw this panel. I was like, I'm surprised he didn't do like a little side panel showing where he was, and then the main panel where he's at, kind of stuff.
But I think he's trying to show speed, so it's almost ghost-like because he's so fast. You're just
bullet time
remnant of where he was.
Yeah, it's like to show that magical effect or whatever that these people have.
Well, in a still frame, you really can't capture bullet time,
right?
And I think this conveys that. Like,
I think so too.
You can see, if you notice the water and everything, it's kind of not moving. Like, I think we're seeing Le Marechal in real time, and I'm seeing the guy that just screamed at him in slow-mo.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. So do you guys know who the LUCENT are yet? No, I don't know anything.
Magi? The people who have seen the magic.
Oh, yeah. Did I say, hey, what's up, Murph? I'm not sure. I said,
hey.
Wait, is that you or is that Murph?
It's actually me.
Okay. You're funny. All right, 1 second. Let me pull this back up. All right.
Thinking about being in two places at once.
Yeah. So he gets his ass handed to him.
Yep.
He basically gets a foot through his guts, enough to make him
puke blood.
Throw up blood. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good contrast too with the blue.
Like,
like, you notice it's more of an orange than a red.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think that's a really good because if you were to look on the color wheel, I bet that's the complementary, like the
most likely. Yeah, the red would be too much. Yeah.
Well, the red, if you never put red on blue, because it does something called chromatic aberration, where your eye is trying to reconcile which color is coming forward and which color is receding, and it gives you a headache if you look too long at it. Yeah. When it's orange like that and it's got that off blue, you're not going to get that. So I think that was a really smart choice. I don't know if it was conscious or not, but that it works out really well.
It does.
I mean,
it stands out.
It works out. You think you can catch a ghost? You'll never find her. He didn't like that, did he? He's always going to brain him.
Ooh, blood splatter.
Yep, get a little blood.
Love it.
He said, I don't know if he wanted to show speed. You do a bunch of superimposed translucent images between the two figures. Yeah.
I just think there's a lot of interpretations to that because, you'll see different panels. I know we've used it in our book too. Some people make them lighter and they get darker as they get closer to you. There's so many ways to interpret it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good point though, Neff.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So now finally we're caught up to present day.
The 2-pager.
Present day. And amongst this cityscape, we see this silhouette reflection off of another building, and we're like, whoa, what? So that's pretty cool. I really like, how much time does this take? Like, geez, dude. Like, I don't think he does digital drawings either. I think he does it all by hand. So, like, what is he taking out his ruler? Going 1, 2, like those don't look like 3D assets or whatever those are called. So, you can feel that there's just a lot of effort put in this, a lot of heart. If that makes any sense.
There's the reflection. There's the source of the reflection. Yeah.
Yep.
So this is clearly in some type of European city.
That's a beautiful panel.
That's London, right? London's got the big ass Ferris wheel.
Yeah, the London Eye. Yeah, is that Big Ben over there?
Back here. Yeah. I bet you're right.
I don't know because later on, I believe they go to Paris.
They are in Paris later. That's true.
And I don't know if English architecture matches Europe, the mainland European stuff. Like those buildings.
Shit.
Actually that's a really good point. Like after the Blitz and all that stuff, most of London was rebuilt and a lot of it is modern.
I mean, World War II basically wiped out the old world.
It did. So. Well, that and there was the London fire that happened before that, like in 18 something. But England, I guess this is where my heritage comes in because my family lived there before coming here. Mm-hmm. And London is not a really that city has had more shit happen to it than any other as far as tragedies go. We leveled the city 3 times.
Right.
London, Louisiana. It's like New Orleans here,
Yeah, exactly. But London literally means the unfordable town because the city is split by the Thames River, and half of London used to just be on a bridge. Back in a way,
London Bridge is falling down, all that. Yeah. They actually had buildings all the way across it. I've seen depictions of that.
Yeah, they did it in Game of Thrones. They showed kind of a quasi interpretation of it.
Is that right? So I will say I do like some of the narration. The pros of the narration. He's like, no matter what waited for her below, it couldn't be worse than standing still. That's why she lifts her head and leans back into the void. So she's like, fuck it.
Cover of the book.
And basically here's the except for there's no water on the floor.
No water
on the ground.
Although at the end of the book, this scene kind of gets replicated.
Right.
There is water.
Yes.
So, and we're brought in. We see this dude. He's checking her out. He's like, "What?" He's not surprised. So we're like,
"Is she doing cuneiform? Is she forming a cuneiform symbol there?" I'm just questioning.
Actually, trying to look for symbolism and everything. That is the hanged man pose, but that's another topic.
All right, tarot cards.
Yeah, little Freemasonry tarot card stuff.
So that's Damon. I suppose that's her. Her boyfriend, Damon Spector. Yeah.
Yes. Who we don't know who he is at all.
In this, did you get the preview for Painted Death?
I did, but I don't have it digital. So.
Oh yeah, so like I think that's him that like fucks up everybody.
Like, oh, in the bike,
right? He's got the helmet, dude. That was like, man, where's that at?
Coloring. Like, oh yeah, by the way, everybody's dead.
That was like one of the coolest things. That's one of the things that sold me on the book was that fucking helmet image. See, I think I've got it. Thought I had it. No, maybe not. I don't know. It's here somewhere, but I am looking forward to
same here.
Sure. So anyways, getting back in it. So he's like, he's clapping, oh, good job. So they seem like they know each other. Like she's not that surprised or embarrassed or anything. Like, oh no, somebody's seeing me. He's doing the Peter Pan pose, right? He's like, look at him. Come with me.
Well, that answers our question. They are indeed in London. It's a double-decker bus, and it says,
looking good there. How long have you been watching me? Oh, you'd like to know. So obviously they're familiar, right? And it's still like, what is going on? Like, and then finally people recognize that they're like standing in the way. Nobody seemed to care that she jumped backwards or that he was sitting on the bus, so something's weird, right? It's not normal. Something is off.
Right.
I like how they just treat the cops like a joke. Just like the real London police. Teach you to not carry a gun.
He's not Somalian. What do you mean?
Yeah.
So he gets he treats them like NPCs, right? Like kind of like in the Matrix, where it's like, these people don't really matter, like they're in their own little thing. And then so they're like, oh, let's race. So he keeps it lively. What's up?
So there it is again. There's the ghost move again.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that it's that movement thing that he does, and I like that. I don't know. It's just his own interpretation of that again. So
it
may not be show speed, but it show. No, I love it. I think it's a great way to do it. So
at least we see that he's traveled. I will say that I think the only thing that kind of throws me off, and I'm not sure if he means to do it this way or not, but like whenever these powers are used, it's this almost translucent white, but it's also like there's no sound effects, right? So I don't know if you meant to do that
like
on
whoosh
purpose or not. Yeah, like a whoosh or just any kind of little sound effects.
Well, what sound effects do they use? When,
like flip or something. Like something. But here they are racing. He's keeping it spirited as they race across London. Apparently swinging from lampposts, so that's normal. I mean, not having read all the way through it, you're kind of like, you get the idea that there's going to be some fuckery going on, and this feels like a dream. First of all, let's stop and appreciate some of these landscapes that he's done.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah,
this reminds me of Daredevil, Elektra, and the Man Without Fear when they and they're bouncing across the city together, and really cool.
Okay.
I know it makes me wonder if Bancroft was like on a helicopter tour with like a camera if he ever visited London, because like
could be
these all like it feels like we're following the visual progression of a similar street, if not the same street.
Yeah,
and it's like, is that Google Earth? Like you know what I mean? Because you don't pull that out of your mind. Yeah, you can't pull that out of your mind. That is something that needs reference. And I bet we could find the buildings that he's referencing here, which is awesome. I'm not saying that that's a ding against it. It means that the man did research into the city.
Right.
Yeah, he wanted to make it look authentic instead of just off the top of his head. All right, and here we go. Color choice is gay as shit. No, I like it a lot actually. Because
I think that's mauve.
It feels like a setting sun, So and this is so
yeah,
nice. There's all those warm colors and everything. And then it gets pinker. Like here is even pinker than the other ones up above.
So and then they just jumped the English Channel, and now they're in France.
Right.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Is that true? No. They don't show that.
Yeah, they were in London, and now they're in
London. Yeah. They've jumped.
I guess I missed that. That's all right.
No, this is the first cue that this race has been going on for a little bit of a tick, and now they've landed at the terminus of the race, and it's in some French park in Paris.
Yep.
Which is weird because like the thugs that we'll see in a moment, like they're all English speakers. So I don't know if that was a choice, as in.
I didn't notice that they went to France already. I thought this was London still. Like they didn't say that they had jumped the channel. So here we go, a little pornography going on here. No, just kidding. I don't know if you young men know. Yeah, you young men know about this, but this is making out in the park. Some of this is kind of corny. It reminds me of my young emo self. He says, "I swear you'll be the end of me. I've never been closer to destruction than when I'm with you." And whenever I've said something like that to a girl, they're like, "That is corny as shit." But it makes her melty. She fucking
but this isn't. Yeah, the point of the writing like this is that we're not supposed to be in reality.
Right.
We're supposed to be in his universe, and
I
like that. I like the like I like when it's cheap. Like when somebody has no idea how to talk to women and they write romance, you get something like Star Wars Attack of the Clones. You're not like sand, you're soft. But like when you're trying to create a romantic environment and you do go over the top cheesy or whatever. Yeah, chicks love this. Like, we're not the demographic for it because we're dudes, but like, a woman can read this and go, "Okay, yeah, this is I expect Fabio on my cover. Damn it, Like, but it sells. There's a reason, and I like the fact that we're seeing multiple markets being I don't want to say catered to, but there's something for everyone basically in here. You're getting
sure. I agree with this.
We're in it for the Matrix stuff and the esoteric stuff, and suddenly now we get into romance, and it's like, oh, cool. But
that's fine too.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's more a part of esotericism than I think a lot of people understand. Anyways, so he obviously knows where her button's at. Good for him.
I found it. That's what the LUCENT is. He knows where the G spot is.
Yep. Knows how to get her going. All right.
Oh, hey, yeah, you got him in. See, I thought. Hold on. I think in mine.
Is French, right?
Yeah, exactly. So they are in France, but I think in mine, unless I totally missed it. Oh shit! Come on, let me scroll. Okay, no, I didn't. I was wrong. So yeah, they are speaking in French. So yeah, they are in Paris. I could have sworn when I first read this. It was all in English.
Missed where it said that they jumped the channel, right? Because that's London.
You don't need to. It was a montage. Yeah, like the first inclination that they're not in London anymore is that establishing shot.
Look, there we go, right here.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fucking Eiffel Tower.
Yep.
Yeah, good point. I don't know. I'm dumb. I need to be told. So, all right,
that's so weird that I thought this was all in English.
Yeah, just the way you remembered it.
Yeah, it's so weird. Okay, because I remember.
This is. I think this is for like his wife, because I know his wife had spent some time in France. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she like speaks French or something, right?
Yeah, isn't she French?
Yeah. And they visit France from time to time, I thought. So he's at least talked about a few times. So I think this is kind of a throw back to that.
Sure. So again, we got really strong colors. I really like the coloring throughout the whole book. Really just enjoyed all of it. All the pink highlights and everything is just perfect. It's on the bad guys over here. His shading and everything is right on.
I just noticed something about that middle panel. If you get the Painted Death preview book, look at the cover and look at that pose.
Oh, really?
Yep, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, and it says quite a bit. Just the emotion here. They see danger. He doesn't look scared. she's concerned but not scared as well, you know. So yeah, it's just really
then
good.
she says, yeah, don't you know not to speak to strangers who can kick your ass 6 ways to Sunday? That's what she says, actually.
I know you speak French.
Okay,
I don't.
Here we go.
Right.
English speaking superiority. You're dead. 2 words. Je vois. Yeah, okay. Okay, Frenchie. Anyways.
This is so weird, dude. Like when I first read this, I totally forgot that like somehow I must have tuned out the French and just read the yellow parts.
Yeah.
Because I had to, I'm looking through the book now and I'm like, what the hell? I don't remember the French.
Is that the Mandela effect? Got you?
Yeah. So I retract my initial thing that I was saying earlier, where it was like, you know, they're in France, yet the thugs speak English, and I was like, no, they're not speaking English.
Yeah. All right. So again, we've got a fling here, but no sound. Where it looks like she's using an ability, or whatever. Yeah, just something in there. So I don't know. It doesn't. It's like it's its own thing. Where because he repeatedly doesn't use you know, like the descriptive. What is that? Automatopoeia? Is that what that's called? Anyways, which is fine. I'm not like, you know, poo-pooing it. It's just because it is consistent. It's just like, you know, okay, here we go. Here's a whoosh. So that works.
And a whack.
That's because they're each other. So
right. That's it, you freak-eyed bitch. Apparently she got freaky eyes. I don't know. Yeah, she does kind of got that crazy bitch eyes. Look at that. He's like, touch me one more time. Oh. Yeah, pulls a knife on her. And yeah, not having it. Does some more of that mojo. And again, the action lines, the translucent kind of stuff.
Yep.
Without sound effect. So and then blows him away. I would expect them to be like, ah, or something, but that would take away from this skyline. That's for sure. You know, and then they just drops them. Done that in D&D.
Yeah.
All right. And then so he's basically like, I gotta get out of here, which we don't really know why these guys were attacking him. Maybe they were just like hoods, you know, and they were in the wrong part of Paris, which I'm pretty sure they would be darker skinned nowadays, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's another
it wouldn't be French, that's for sure.
Yeah, they wouldn't be speaking French.
Yeah, Europeans.
They could be from Algeria. It's fine. That's fine.
The hell did Haitians get here?
Yeah, right. Everybody's from the Sudan.
Yep.
So taps her on the head, and that coincides with her waking up. What? Yep. Was this Chronicle? Was that Chronicle of the Western or Chronicle of the 20th century? Yeah.
So all of that entire adventure was all in her dream.
All in her brain.
So again, it kind of brings parallels to the Matrix, or at the very least, it kind of brings some Inception vibes, where the longer you're in somebody else's dream, the more the occupants become hostile to you. Right. And it's like the cops were hostile, and now the thugs were, and it's like, I wonder if there's some of that at play.
I don't know. That's a good question. I did watch a interview where he was talking about the book, and they got into lucid dreaming and astral projection and stuff like that. And he's like, you know, he doesn't believe in astral projection, and so I would assume that like shared dream spaces. I don't know. Wouldn't that just be astral projection, or would like a dream world would basically be like an astral plane? You know, I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah,
there's a specific type of magic that deals with dreams. They talk about it in that game, The Witcher, Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt, where somebody can actually jump into somebody else's dreams. Like that's what the Dream Warriors. Yeah,
it is.
Yep. Justice for Karen. Justice for Karen. But
I'll tell you what.
That's
go ahead.
Like maybe that's where the whole conflict is. You know what I mean? Like, what if like I'm still like I've read the book multiple times now, but I'm still not sure if the battlefield is in the dream or if the battlefield is brought into reality. I know they make mention of it, but it's like, is the Order, is La Maréchale, are they just dream wraiths like Freddy Krueger?
I mean, kind of the vibes I was getting is that the dreaming is like an ability that you can combine with reality. So you're able to manipulate reality using like your lucent dreaming ability, right? So like if you guys have ever lucent dreamed before, which
you mean lucid?
Sure. Yeah, you mean lucid.
Yes. Yeah, the lucid dreaming.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
What I meant. So like if you've ever done some lucid dreaming, then it's like you're aware. Like it's basically like you're awake in your dream.
I wish I could. Dude,
it's supposed to be ultra real, right?
Yeah,
like
I wish lucid dreaming worked for me. I was on some heavy sedation, dude. Like came out of a surgery. Okay, heavy sedation. I woke up through the drugs because I knew I was sleeping.
Oh wow!
Yikes!
Like as soon as I know I'm awake, I'll come right to.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So yeah, or as soon as I know I'm dreaming, I'm like, yep.
Yeah, that's probably pretty common. Anyways, I like this book over here. I would have been more impressed if that said Tragedy and Hope. That would probably be more appropriate. But anyways, moving on. So Joy Division shout out, clearly. Pretty cool. I'm not familiar with Joy Division, but this makes me want to go listen to them. So
you hipster.
Yeah. Just to get kind of understand the vibe a little bit better. I think it's cool. Like one of the things I liked about was it Neil Gaiman will put in, music references in his stuff all the time.
Oh yeah.
Like who was it? The Dream Guy in one of those books, or a few of them, like they'll put on the jukebox. Yeah, Sandman. They'll put on the jukebox, and like you'll have like a full couple verses of song, and it'll match the scene. Yeah, I enjoy this stuff. Maybe it's a little cheesy or tropey now, but
no, I love that.
I like it.
I just remembered it's called Oniromancy. That's
okay.
Yeah, that's the dream magic.
Wow.
What kind of etymology is that?
Greek. Like all like mance means Greek, is a Greek word. So is necro. And like you don't say like terramancy, you say geomancy, because geo is Greek for earth.
Yeah.
So and so on. So all you got to do is just look up some Greek word and then mancy, and you basically have a magic type.
Yeah. All right. So we meet this kind of, I don't know what kind of personality type. Like you got hipsters. Just like a hipster.
Her and her boyfriend there. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Is like, I initially saw this and I'm like, oh God, what is it? LAFT or LAFTH or whatever. Look at that freaking hipster. But it's got dark chick with a mental illness haircut and all this stuff. And I was immediately prepared to hate her. And then I started reading through the interview and reading through the book. And I'm like, actually, no, she's just a bookstore owner.
Yeah.
She's just
she got a nice rack too. So that's helpful. All right. So I also like Dracula. This. I like the references that are in this scene. So like Animal Farm, good, Orwell, Dracula, Phantom of the Opera, Watchmen back here. I'm not sure what that is. I can't really see it very well. But yeah, it's pretty cool because, it's like when you see a movie, or I guess in any kind of work of art, it's like, is that what it is? And so
at the top,
it's not a mistake. Like whatever's on screen is in there for a reason.
It's all deliberate.
Yeah, it's all staged and it's all deliberate. So that's cool because this is a huge, nod to a whole. That's Sandman right there, right? So yeah, it's just a huge nod to a whole bunch of stuff. So that's great. Love all those stories, by the way.
Yeah,
Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I knew somebody who claimed to be a descendant of that
Lewis
Carroll. Yeah,
Lewis Carroll.
Yeah, they had a huge tattoo on their back that was all Alice in Wonderland. They're probably just mentally disturbed, but that was the story. Anyways, that's a whole nother subject. So here we kind of get to see their relationship, which I kind of, I don't know, I liked it, but it felt like the dialogue here was missing something, like down in this panel. I think it could have maybe went a different way. Not that anything bad came out of it, it was just like there was something kind of like left unsaid. And then we get this really nice reaction panel, which I really like this panel of her.
Yeah.
You know, because she's having this conversation with her friend. Clearly, they're friends and coworkers, and at least in some capacity. And then she's not convinced. You know, she's a little concerned even. So
she's like, that bitch crazy, because she's all talking about she's talking about the literal man of her dreams.
Is having another dream, you know. And
we spoke French, and it's like, yeah, that's nice.
It's like, oh, you're crazy. That's fine. Or maybe she's like, you're lonely as shit and you need to get some, you know.
Right.
She comes off kind of sexual. I mean, not like overbearing or nothing, but she's like, oh, naughty ones, I hope. Tell me everything, you know.
Right.
So she's kind of teasing her and talking sexually and stuff. So, all right. I cannot pronounce that. Was that?
Is that Marylebone?
Yeah, sure. In a secondhand bookstore.
Yeah, and there's the hipster boyfriend. Hey, look, he's ethnically appropriate for London.
I do like how he looks, though. I think he's cool looking.
Yes,
he's your hipster. He's got the nose ring. Like,
where's my macchiato? Hey, you know what? Though? Whatever gets him fucking laid, I suppose. Right? Yeah. He's like, that's how a lot of men are. It's like they'll do whatever. If the women like it, they'll dress like it. You know, look at the 80s where everybody looked like fucking girls. You know, so let's not forget that part of the 80s.
Look at the 2020s where everyone looks like a freaking girl.
Everyone looks like.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's like, well, I identify as whatever will get me.
Just laid. A side note, we were just watching "We Are the World" documentary on Netflix tonight.
Oh, nice!
Before this, and it was a big throwback to the '80s. And oh my god! And you know, my wife was pretty young in the '80s. She was like, when "We Are the World" came out, I think she was actually 4 years old, which is
my god, I'm old.
Yeah, I know, was like 11.
5, sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was definitely a lot older than 4. Oh man!
But she goes, man, the 80s look so foreign to me. She goes, I just don't get it. Everybody was dressing so futuristic and weird, and I was like, yeah, that's really what they were doing. It was kind of futuristic.
You know what's funny is all right. So that pulls up a thing. So what's that Van Halen song? It was like. Blue-eyed murder in a sci-fi. I thought it was sci-fi dress, but it's size 5 dress.
Oh,
so like for a long time. I was like as a kid, awesome. I was like, oh yeah, sci-fi. Yeah, because that's pretty easy.
That's awesome.
Anyways. She's got like the Tron Legacy dress.
We need to do a whole show on wrong lyrics.
Yeah,
wrong lyrics. I'm down.
The misheard lyric. Yeah.
Yes.
So we get to meet him. You know, he's like he's got a big personality.
Yeah, bombastic.
You know, yeah, a little bit over the top. Not too much though. Like he's not violent. He doesn't seem like he's an asshole.
No, he's very extroverted.
Yeah, and you know,
personality
gets a bunch of
really
attention.
comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So, which is good. That's good writing. And I really like, look at these shots, dude. Some of these panels, all of the little pages that he, you know, all the corners.
Dude, yeah, these look like sets. This doesn't look like a comic book, dude. This looks
very
like
cinematic.
Yeah, this looks like the set of a film. Like, every bit of this. That's why like the sound effects missing doesn't bother me. Like, because
it doesn't bother me.
I feel like I'm watching a movie.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Like 10 years from now, like, you know, when I'm senile, which probably is going to be a lot less than 10 years, but like somebody's gonna, you know, if somebody asked me if I saw the Lucent and like totally was messing with me, they're like, yeah, that movie with, you know, they like name some actor that looks like one of these characters or whatever. Like, oh yeah, I remember seeing that movie. You know what I mean? Like totally forgetting that it was actually a book.
So I want to just point out his beard is very like was it Iranian, you know?
Yes.
Like
I told you he was ethnically appropriate for London.
Yeah. It's very Iranian. I'm digging it.
He's a Persian person.
I think he's cool looking. I really do dig his look, man. I like it.
Yeah. Well, and then so here's a little bit of the wokeism, right? Not saying that's a joke. Don't everybody. I don't think the book is woke, but he's like, you know, he's like, well, I don't know if she's into dudes or chicks, you know. It's like, yeah. Well, she doesn't wear a rainbow flag, and her hair is natural, so that's a tip off.
Well, he's stripping a chick with a mental illness haircut, so he's kind of. I don't blame him. Like he's like this. Chick usually would go for would be a carpet cuisine connoisseur.
Crazy,
kind of haircut.
I love it.
Crazy hot, good in bed scale entered the chat on that one. So she's probably just a demon in the sack. Let's be honest.
All
right. Yeah, and then so we see her kind of like going through her day. Yeah, it was funny. I was reading through this earlier, and I actually heard it in my mind, mind the gap, and then it was right there. Yeah, mind the gap. Anyways, she's yeah, see, there's a Londoner right there. And she and she thinks she sees that.
Her
that
dreams are bleeding into reality.
Right.
Oh, yeah, man.
And I think that's kind of where the superpower stuff we'll start seeing her being able to do it in real life. Is that, you know, the dreaming will come into the real. So she's like, "What? There's nobody behind me."
What is that? Whoa! Behind her, what's going on?
Like,
oh, okay.
What's that?
That guy looked like he was.
I don't know. The black chick that was standing next to her is like, "Oh, $5, right?" Oh God.
Well, it's because that man's shoes on the bench. He's sitting down, but his shoes look like it's
like the back of her legs
coming back. Yeah.
Well,
like she's on her knees, but it's actually his feet.
Oh yeah. Shit, just right there on the bus. Okay.
Yeah. Tangents, Bancroft. Tangents. Don't make tangents.
All right, and then so she, you know, we see East London. So she's arrived home. This little scene was just to show that, like you were saying, bleeding between, you know, is he real or what is going on? And then here we meet, what is this, her granddad? This is her grandfather?
No, this is the guy that rescued her in the flashback. This is the one
that that's right. They got her out of there.
Yep. The hat guy, right? The hat guy.
The hat guy. Yep. The one that caught the pipe. He's like,
he's the one with the
yeah.
He's the one with the ginger root hand.
Yeah, so we get to see their relationship a little bit. He kind of comes off as like he doesn't want to put a lot of effort into shit.
Look at the color scheme though. We got back into the sepia color again.
Yeah. Kind of going through, and then we find out about her past here, where it's like, you know, her dad, but not her. There's no mention of her mom in these pictures and stuff like that. And it's clearly a sore subject. And he talks about how, I like this panel between here and here. I like that. There's a lot said right there. And anyway, so, and we find out that she, or that, you know, she basically shut down after losing her parents from that traumatic fucking, I told you to shut up with the black eye. And so, yeah. And then we get a lot of that here where he kind of like, he explains a little bit of it and his own guilt and demons. What's that?
Yeah, just to go to this. So I know that there's been a lot of negative feedback for people who have a gargantuan amount of dialogue in a single panel. Like there's that famous Marvel one where it's like Colossus,
or Eric Larson. Wasn't there like an Eric? It was like a Savage Dragon one. It was like a
it's like freaking 90% of the page. Yeah. But the thing is the way that it's laid out here, it visually like it loops your eye to kind of observe, like almost like how the way the two come, you know, people, or I shouldn't say both of them, but the way that Ella would be like looking around, like I don't know if this was intentional or not, but the way that the dialogue floats around, it's like almost like smoke, and it's not that linear, like here's a heavy-handed procession of text. Like it's nice and floaty. Yeah. And normally this would be like a huge fail. Like if you, like in most other books, this would just be a huge dump of dialogue. And it's like, but I don't get that here. Like I think he mastered the.
It feels like I mean, he also sets it up well. Like you know, first of all, there's a very limited dialogue. It's all emotion. It's very emotional, and then
you're immersed.
He comes
We're
out
immersed into the world right now, so that's what's done it. It's because he's dropped us into it, and I would
we're
say
like peeking
Eric
in through the door.
This is Eric.
Eric Weathers doing this too, because when you look at the art, he's letting that art kind of be there. So you can see the lamp. He's not covering it up. He only covers a little bit of it, but you get the gist of the scene. So
I'll say that's one of the things that I like about Jose as well is he in my book he'll kind of like as you're reading the captions, it feels like it's moving, like the pictures are moving in a way because of the way that the bubbles are, and it's a real thing. It'll trick your brain into thinking that it's almost animated or like there's movement in the scene.
If I were a cinematographer and this was a shot that I was given, what I think these dialogue bubbles, the way they're broken up, the way that it conveys it, is it's like multiple breaths in between each of those paragraphs. So we're looking at a labored, like this is somebody that doesn't like talking or somebody that doesn't talk that much. So when they finally have that cathartic release, they're going to have a labored sense of like like look at the way it's laid out. Like Ella is in its own bubble.
Yeah.
And
Ella.
then there's a break. And then when your parents were taken from you, ellipses, you shut down. No tears, no anger. I feared you'd never come out of it. Then one day you smiled as though you just decided that's what you needed to do. Again, now it's going into another thought. It's going into another thought. What I would do as a cinematographer, I would either slowly pan out or zoom out from that scene till it shows the frame of the door, or I would zoom in. One of those two. And I think that's what that single establishing shot represents. Like it's not supposed to be action. It's supposed to be a very intentional, dramatic, slowed down.
Yes.
Yeah. Like this is important.
And like we're peeking into an intimate moment as well.
Yeah. So, like a voyeur, like literally through the door. Yeah.
Yeah. It's framed in there. And it's something that we talked about, I think, when we did the Fall of Man review, is like the dialogue, or maybe it was Ruthless, but it like the dialogue bubbles. When you got to have rhetorical breaks, you got to be able to feel where those are. And I think that he does it perfectly here. When it goes from subject to subject, they don't bleed together. You can each bubble has its own point, and rhetorical beats is important. So, and I think he nailed it there, or at least he pulled it off. Put it that way. So then here's her rebuttal. She's like, "I'm not a child anymore. You should not have kept these from me." And that's something like, as a parent, you are trying to be cautious of the things of mistakes, things that the child can, have a problem with later on, maybe not necessarily a grudge, but something that like, oh, you didn't have to do that, or I wish this had happened instead. As a parent, I don't want those things to happen. Like I want to be able to share everything with my kids, within reason, obviously. And it's just kind of heartbreaking, just like you should not have kept these from me. It's like,
also like to play devil's advocate for him, old people perceive time differently than young people.
Yeah.
In his mind, this chick just snapped out of her catatonia. Anything he says could put her back in there. And and when you're older, you don't perceive how much time has really passed. Like for him, it's a very short amount of time, a few years. For her, it was like half her lifetime.
Yeah, right. It's true. Yeah, that's definitely something to consider with kids. It's like, they're only like their experiences are only so much. Like for them, a year is a long ass time, depending. So, anyways,
for us, it's nothing.
And he's like, I can see that now. So at least we know that he's not completely full of himself. So he's got some heart. We can empathize with him, put it that way. So and then you got the soft lighting, which helps the mood. But I mean, throughout the book, I'm just gonna say that he nailed the mood on a lot of the stuff.
Definitely.
All right, and then so he does a little cough, and then he gives her COVID. No, I'm just kidding. So he's like. He's writing notes, and he's like, old man cough. That means he's gonna die from cold. Or he's like, he's only got so long. He's frail, right? And then she is given this ring, right? Isn't this the ring here?
Yep.
and a letter. So that's a great angle. Like, I don't know. He's really good at emotion. So to the one and only Ella, hope is a waking dream. So that's nice. It's really good. Nice room, by the way. I like the V for Vendetta back there.
Yeah.
With the Harry Potter scarf.
Yeah, the Harry Potter scarf.
Very English. Do you think this is an English part? Do you think
you got
Union Jack a bit too much?
Sandman over here, right? The Sandman poster. I'm not sure what that one is, but yeah.
That looks like Abbey Road. Or maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, it could be. You know what? It could be.
Yeah, good point. That's funny, dude.
The crosswalk.
Nice pickup. Yeah.
Not English enough.
I like that the mirror is tilted. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not like perfectly. This doesn't look like a sterile environment.
Yeah. So she got a little gap right there. That's look good. No. Yeah, and then so here's the ring she pulls out and puts her on, passes out, looking at pictures and shit. And that's when the fun starts.
Yeah. We go into the Greeks or the Roman slave.
Yeah, again, the hangman pose. Anyways. What dreams stir a man? Right? We don't know.
Is she, because like my interpretation, I could be really, I'm not obviously not the sharpest tool in the shed here, but like what I got out of this was something like when I worked on Assassin's Creed, which was you're experiencing your ancestors' memories.
I thought this too.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It feels very bloodliney. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what dreams stir a man to wake in the still hours of night? What hope? Can such things exist in a place like this or at all? Where is it that fate itself cannot find you? Destiny is stubborn. A man cannot kick up dirt to blot out the sun. So we find out the dude's name's Artemis, looks like. And he's apparently a pretty mystical dude. He's like, you've prayed enough. So he's into
a slave.
The gods. Yeah. Yeah. And then here we see them all in like a little house like humans have lived in for thousands of years until modern technology.
Well, these are slave quarters, right? Like they generally don't have single.
I mean, again, as most humans have lived throughout all of human existence.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So, and they all seem very close, and we like them all. And then that's scary as fuck. So he's passed out, right, with his woman and his kid, maybe, and and then woken by this.
That's cool.
Such a great effect. Yeah, such a great effect.
This is this back? Are we back in London?
Yeah, it's a black guy. Yeah, everything's on fire. So I don't know. See, this has all got to be digital, right? That's all digital effects.
Definitely.
Be gone, demon. So he says, "We are no demon. We are Isham." Now, I haven't looked into this, and it doesn't ring a bell. Have you guys looked up what is Isham? Is that a made-up thing?
These are Hebrew words, like olam. They're talking about olam means like, olam means like eternity. It also means world. Like there's that famous, there's that philosophy tikkun olam, which is the shattered world. What a lot of Jews believe.
I know he has a throwback to Gilgamesh here too, right? So with references to that, so I don't know if it is. I know Ishtam, I think, was in the Gilgamesh story. But I'm not sure if that's where this is actually referencing or not.
What's up, Corey?
Hey.
Thanks for making it. I know you were a couple of days early, but we're here.
Nope. So Isham is an Akkadian god of fire and the companion of Hera.
Okay.
So we're getting into Mesopotamian stuff.
Yep.
There you go.
Your Lord was the one who chose you. It's like, shit. I don't want to be the chosen one.
I was a chosen people.
Wait, what did he say up there? Did he say you're worthy? Is that what he says? Oh, I'm not.
I am not worthy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It is
all are worthy.
Rests the fate of all mankind. It's like, wait, no. I just want to die with my family, dude. Bro. and then some kind of magical fire. Yeah, not really sure what he does, but he basically but he basically gets teleported away.
Yeah.
He's out in the water. There's his village, we're assuming, in the back, and then he's like, "No,
where'd y'all go?"
Unfortunately, so these guys look very Roman.
Yeah,
which I think for 3,800 BCs. Well, no, wait. When was this?
This is after 3,800. This is
it must be. This has got to be Roman. Yeah. So
they don't really give us a time here, do they?
No, they don't. All right. Well, this is brutal as shit. They just fucking slay these guys right here. And this dude's just standing there soaking it in the blood. I don't know. It's like, no. Oh, man, are you serious?
So,
oh, damn.
Okay, so
brutal,
go back
dude.
up.
Bancroft, why you do it like that?
he was actually up in the water. He was in the water, right? Watching this?
Yep.
Yes.
And now he's there in the middle of it, trying to hold on to them.
I wonder if that's the dream part. I wonder if the water
so too.
Part.
Yeah, because now he's back in the water, and then it goes back to them killing him.
But was he removed and that
the Akkadian god,
was possessing him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're worthy. He's like, what?
Now all the legionaries die.
Yeah, bro's like, what? I'm just here for the money. And water becomes fire.
Yeah, I love that.
And he's like, I'm out, dude. Yeah. Fucking paparazzi. No. He's like, all are worthy. Yeah. Dude's had a better day. Look at this guy.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
And then we've got more mixture of fire and water.
No, but then it reverts back to her.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I think that was her
wet t-shirt.
Yeah, shouldn't we see some nipples?
¿Dónde están los nipples?
Come on, Bancroft. Where's the nipples?
Yeah, these panels copied and pasted. Yes, they are.
They're all Corey. Good one.
All right, Damon, help me. Now, I don't think we've heard his name before, have we? Like, she didn't say it earlier, did she? I don't remember.
I'm not sure. I think she might have.
I think she did.
Yeah.
Lightning strike.
Yep.
With fire in it. So this is very kind of I don't know, like, where is she, right?
Now we're seeing what is it?
God.
Ira.
So here's this being that comes up out of the water, and and basically just takes her away. Portals her. Portals her into West End London. So we return to London. Or was she just sleeping? Lightning strike, this is like great effect. This is really cool.
Good.
And it was a selling point of the book, in my opinion. Like seeing that kind of stuff on the cover.
The new cover, that he did.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
I don't know. You guys can see.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's got that whole lightning scene right there. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the cover of the second printing, isn't it?
Yes.
I bet you're right. And then also here again we've got the translucent lines and
lines.
Effects and all that stuff, but no sound effects coming from it.
Yeah, because if it's all in if it's in bullet time, you probably don't want to display sound effects because you know what I mean. Like I don't think she's existing in like I think everything just went into like the who the hell is that that filmmaker that does everything with a bwong. You know what I mean? Like she just popped into existence, and then everything is in slow motion, like being blown apart, and we're not hearing the actual explosion or anything because when it's not happening in real time, it doesn't make the same sound.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. That's totally legit.
And she's like, "Oh God, he found the G spot."
Yeah, break that back. Quickening. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Be only one.
And then we see from a cafe or something, right? Cafe over here, maybe. He's like, Ella. So he didn't expect to see that. And whoever that was that rushed up out of that water and teleported her, or ported her through the water, must not have been him, right?
Right.
No, it was one of those Akkadian gods. It was like the
we're assuming.
Well, because like, so like, yeah, the way that it turns and looks at her and stuff.
Yeah,
like that's not. I don't know. I mean, my interpretation of it was we're looking at basically gods. Like the fire god there is Isham, and then there's this one called Ira, which is the god of mischief and mayhem. And I don't know if it has an element associated with it.
He didn't tell us all of that, so
no, I know, but
yeah, we're not told
who's
who
the water
guy is assumption right now. It's all
this is all speculation, and that's a good thing. I mean, that gets you to talk about the book.
It is a mystery, yeah, which is fine. I don't mind.
My thing is in that closing scene.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if she just got knocked into a dream, and he, and Damon was there, and he's like, "Hey, fancy meeting you here," basically. Or if this is the actual Damon, that
right.
Like his whole time, like if we were to see through his perspective, yeah, exactly. Like if we were seeing the story from his perspective from the onset, he'd have been talking to his buddy about this hot chick, redheaded chick that he was banging in his dreams.
That he keeps dreaming about.
Yeah. They've only seen each other in the dreams, not met for real.
Yeah, never met in real life. So that's
that kind of felt that way. Yep.
Yeah.
So, and then this part, which I don't think is in my
it's not in the second printing.
Yeah, so this was really cool where he interviews the different characters, and he makes a little statement about it, about I wanted to get to know them, and apparently this is a part of his process. Totally normal writer kind of process. And I really enjoyed it because you get to know them, like you were saying earlier, Chris. You liked her even more after you kind of like got to read her interview. So
yeah, I initially I was getting ready to hate these characters because I'm like, goddamn mental illness haircut. You go, girl. And then you actually get to know the character, and you're like, well, actually, it's not really that bad of a character at all. So
yeah, for sure. And then here he is. He's like, here's my offer. No, he's the offer me. You receive this. I receive that. All right.
But wait till you get to Le Maréchal.
There's a little bit more with him than I remembered. See, 1, 2.
Yeah, he's got quite an interview in there.
Yeah, he does. And then here's this dude who we barely.
No, what would you call him?
Colin Farrell.
Yeah,
was it Colin Farrell?
Alexander.
Wait, Alexander what?
Renstrom,
and he is Le Maréchal.
Sorry.
No, Le Maréchal is always enshrouded. In fact, it's kind of funny.
Alexander was in the room when they did the water portal stuff at the beginning, where they come up through the sink. He was the one holding her.
Okay, the tall guy. Yep. He was taller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, when they get to the Maréchal, you don't
Colin
even see his face.
He's
Colin Farrell guy.
see, this is where we get to the Terminator.
Here's Le Maréchal. Yeah. Will you please get to the point? And he's left in the dark and all that stuff.
Yeah, intentionally enshrouded. Like the interviewer actually asks him to come into the light, and he's like, "No, I prefer it back in."
Yeah, I'm not gonna. He said, "I am a very private person."
Yeah,
feel you, buddy. I feel you. Wait, why does he have an umbrella inside, which we assume is inside? Obviously, this is like a liminal space or something. Damon Spector. And it's cool. We get to see him, like appropriate name, Damon Spector, because he's mysterious and he's got like ghostly kind of powers with dream world shit. So yeah, and back to the cuneiform. I don't know. Ooh, there we go. There's the ring. What is this? Is that the rape whistle? Well. What is that? Oh, okay.
It's a ring. Yeah, that's the ring that the guy in the opening had.
Oh, okay. Yep. So, all right, let's hear it. What do you guys think? Let's get some exiting interview questions.
I loved it. I think it's immersive. I think it's moody, which I look for in a comic. I want mood. And
hey, what has he got against pink skies?
Oh,
it's great. There's no pink everywhere. Yeah,
that's awesome. No, I mean, for me, it had everything I want. If it's not going to be real action packed, it had good action in it when there was action. But it wasn't jam packed with it, which I'm okay with. I like to read things like this. Don't get very many comics like this.
Nope. Well, here in
it's
America,
fun to read something like this. Yeah, it's fun to read things, like it.
Yeah, this was a Bendis Déjeuner. Like it was an actual story instead of like action comic.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah. All right. So, what do you think? What do you think the next one will be like? Similar? Do you, what kind of questions do you want to see answered?
Probably everything that was created in this book.
Everything's set up. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about any problems that you guys had with the book? Anything that stands out that you didn't really care for, or that you thought could have been better?
Honestly, so as a UX designer, my job is to advocate for the dumbest guy in the room, and it's usually me. I think this book might be too cerebral for the dumb action. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm just saying that the people who want to see roided out barbarians cutting things heads off and like babes and tits and stuff might lose interest in this, especially when it's like you have those periods of non-action where there's like actual storytelling. You know what I mean? And it's like, just get to the part where the fucking head gets cut off. Like, So
I agree with you on that. Although I have problems with that though, because I'm like, I want the story in between. I don't want to just see him cutting the head off. I want to know why, and I want to see the motivation. So it's almost like, everybody's attention span can't handle the story. It's just cut to the chase, and I'm like, no. And this is not like a 20-page comic, so you're not just trying to get 2 scenes of action and then it's over with,
and then you're done. Yeah. Well, it definitely has like the Nolan vibes, of what is that? Inception. Like it very much feels like Inception and Matrix.
Definitely influenced.
And influence. And I wouldn't say like an homage or ripoff or anything like that.
No.
It gives those. Yeah, exactly. It's like if you like those things, you're probably going to enjoy this.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned the attention span thing. And especially in this TikTok generation where you got 30 seconds to entertain me and then I'm done. And it worries me because long form entertainment like this, like the slow burn, like, when you start asking questions, like when you start taking notes on a book you're reading because you want to reference them later on. Yeah. Like that to me, that's what it's all about. Like that's how I geek out about stuff.
Yep.
But a lot of kids today, especially like the younger ones, like the comic book. Well, actually, they're not even comic book readers anymore. Like the millennial, no, not even like the younger millennials and the Zoomers. Will get like a few pages into a book, and until they see like something sexy or something violent, they're like, I'm out. And it's like, oh man,
not worth seeing right now.
And it's I don't want this to go away. I want more of this.
Yep.
So how do we get that? Like,
that's a good question, man. I think we just got to do it, and you got to make things good and get it talked about so that it builds a cult following.
Pimp out the Lucent to anybody you know.
So I mean, like, really though,
you've got to let people know that it's out there and everything. But like from a writer or creative kind of perspective, I know that not everybody's going to be into the high fantasy of Immortal Rising.
Oh yeah,
I get that. It's not going to be for everybody, or the art style or something like that. But for the people who are willing to at least check it out, I think they're going to enjoy it in the end. So and I feel the same with this book. Like, if you like a more cinematic kind of book, or one that is takes time to build mystery and story, and mainly the emotion, the emotions in this book really push it forward for me. I really, because like the coloring and all that stuff, I think that he did a great job with all the coloring and the themes and stuff like that. So I will say my only critique, and it's not really necessarily a big critique or anything, but something that I keep hearing is like, these indie books, they need to have self-contained stories per book instead of leaving it cliffhangered open into the next
No,
one. You know,
I
like
don't agree
you
with
can have a bigger overarching, you know, story, but individual stories per book are good as
You
well.
know why they
Now
say
that's
that?
not what I did, but
That's
I
not
hear
what I
what
did
I
either.
hear what they're saying. Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
that's not what we did. But
yeah, I didn't do it
yeah.
either. And they, you know, a lot of people said, "Well, I wish it wasn't a cliffhanger," and I'm like, "No, we're telling, you know, it's a 30-page comic, man. You know,
Yeah.
it's not a graphic novel, so it's got to have some cliffhangers because we're moving the story beyond that next.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and we want you to hang. You know, we want you to like go, ooh, what's going to happen next? That's the point.
Sure.
Well, that's
Well, we put things in our book like this. You know, we planted seeds for things, or we had little things in there that are not, you know, explained. And it's like, we don't want you to know everything in the first book. We want you to have to stick around and watch it unfold. That's the fun of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly. I want you
it's
to
called
kind
a
of be in there.
procedural. It's a procedural versus an episodic. Like,
yeah, it's like Lord of the Rings. You know, everybody loves Lord of the Rings movies. When you go back and watch, man, look how much has to unfold in that whole thing before we get to the end. And then finally we're brought back to where they're at the, you know, Mount Doom and ready to kill the ring. It's like so much has to happen before all that. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, and I like all the setups in this. It leaves a lot of really good mystery. Like it's very good on the mystery stuff. It's like, well, who is that? What is, you know, why are they doing this? And who's chasing her? And why is she so important? Yeah.
Well,
it's J.J. Abrams' Black Box, but done in a good, good way.
The mystery box, man. You got to keep it a question. It's like you can't just go, you know, and tell Logan's story right off the rip. Everybody wants to know why Wolverine is the way he is, but they should never
mystified him.
Yeah, they should have never told that story.
I agree.
Because what hooks us is that we never know, right?
That's true. That was a driving force.
Well, that goes on a theme of magic too. Magic is an esoteric art. It's never meant to be fully understood. It's not a science. So that's why magic is so much more like, you know, has so much more of a draw. Like around the world, everybody, you know, people have science, but ancient cultures, like storytelling around the campfire, shamanic stuff, like that's the more pervasive thing. And there's a reason for that. It's that mystery.
I think mystique is the biggest thing that you can play with. If you can keep a mystique about a character and keep people hooked, it's like Boba Fett. We were so hooked into Boba Fett, man, until they revealed everything about him, and he had that speech impediment as a kid. Ruined it for everybody. You know? Right?
Then he became Boba Fett. Helmet off. We're like, what the hell?
Yeah, before he was like that dusty bounty hunter, and then it was like, no, I know too much now. Never meet your heroes. You know?
Yep, never meet your heroes. I love that.
But so the bad guy is mysterious. He seems intimidating. So that was well done. You know, I like the girl. She seems, you know, confused, but she seems like a good person, and she seems surrounded by good people. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
talking about the patriarchy.
Well, you know, I go back to Anakin again. You know, a lot of my references are Star Wars still, but it's like, you know, she's not a whiny ass bitch. She's just working through this, and this is like real hard to take. You know,
so well, and I will say, you know, if this ever gets like picked up and for development, you know, at Netflix, sorry, goodbye redhead. It'll be a black chick.
They'll have Amita there as the main character.
Black lesbians. Here we go. Yeah. Instead, instead she'll be the main character, right? And then the redhead will be the whiny. Anyway. Any last words? Otherwise, I think we're good.
This was fun. I love
it.
Man.
Yeah,
this was
good book. Interesting world building that he did.
Kudos to Bancroft.
Fully recommend.
Yeah.
Tell your friends.
It was one of it was one of the highlights out of the books that I bought last year. So
me too.
Yeah, and we'll be buying the second one and probably the third one if the second one's anywhere like this one. So
I think
I really enjoyed all that line work that he did. Holy shit. That really stands out, like we were saying earlier.
It really does.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's it. We'll wrap that up here.
All right.
All right. So until next time, nerds. Enough talk.
Enough talk.